I'm gonna try something different, and who knows, this is kind of an experiment. I'm gonna try to tell a story with this awesome background instead of me sitting at that angle. So I'm gonna roll a big fatty first though. I just did a video talking about how sick I am. I'm not. I've got a really nice pre-roll, but it's a blunt, and it's got like bubble hash in it, you know, so it's probably really tasty. I'm not wasting that on this where everything tastes like shit. So I'm gonna roll one. Just give me a sec. I guess someday if I ever got popular or something, I could do something fun like, alright, before story time, which strain are we gonna roll? Because I got this apples and bananas, and it's it's a hybrid. It's pretty strong. The tax like 35.5%. Holy shit. I don't know how the THCA is higher, but anyway, this THCA is like 36. This one here, this Out of My Head hybrid, this was a $50 eighth. I don't know what the stats are on this. It's by Rhythm. It's a high-end dispenser. And then we got Tower 3. It's a really good brand. Their stuff's usually pretty high-end, real frosty. And the strain that they were, I told the dude, just like, hook me up with like your best strain, give me an eighth of it. And it's called Glitter Bomb, and it's like 32%. Let me see how much that's left real quick. Definitely enough for a fatty. Let's get moving on that. I will say, man, one thing that separates like when I went to high school to like when kids now are, and even in like some of the last couple generations, we didn't have cells, you know, like maybe pagers towards the end. So I kind of feel bad for some of these kids, because I mean, even though high school sucks for everyone, especially depending on how you do, you know, I was a skateboarder, I was into punk rock. Yeah, I did have a cool girlfriend, but that caused me all sorts of insecurities and angst. She got killed in a car accident, but we were broken up because I was a cheater. Dude, this was 20 years ago, and it still fucking bothers me. So high school is a messed up time. It's a hard time. But it's only 4 years, and I hear about all these kids killing themselves and stuff, and it's like, I really think that just times have changed, and like, you know, I don't want to be like one of these old people that blame social media, but like, it's like these kids that get shit on, they get shit on not only at school but outside of school. Everywhere they turn, there it is. I almost can see from the outside looking in if that's what's happening. That's why. But anyways, yeah, you know, so like, we didn't have cells and stuff like that. There was no dispensaries. Weed was illegal. So we just bought like whatever. You weren't getting no Glitter Bomb at 33%. You were getting some pressed crap with seeds and stems in it. When the good weed first came out, it was like $3.60 a zip. All right, I sell good weed. Weed sells for a decent price, like $160 to $200 an ounce around here. So anyways, let me get this bone rolled and I'll tell you about my 1999 prom. Definitely some fire bud. I don't even know why I'm really using this really good bud, because it's probably gonna get that same damn chlorine taste that I've been tasting all night. And I mentioned earlier, I get this like chlorine taste from like anything I smoke or anything I breathe in. Like, alright, it's not just today, it's been going on this whole time. I've been sick. That's why I was like, do I have COVID? But yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be a little story time with B. It might get 2 views, it might get a couple more, who knows. I've got nothing else to do, so I'll tell a short story. You know, for one, I see all these new videos these kids are doing where it's like
the kids from the early 2000s or whatever. Like, I mean, that's kind of my era too, because I'm late 90s, I graduated 99, so, you know, I was definitely still into the scenes in, like, the early 2000s, you know, from skating and the rock scene to the punk scene to the rave scene, all of the above. Some I'm not very proud of. Going into all that electronic music, I now wish I had stayed with, like, you know, the traditional music, because that's what I like. When I hear electronic music, it just reminds me of all the drugs and the chemicals and those long nights, and no. Another thing that sucks with everyone having a phone and being able to record is, like, get yourself that girl in high school that you wanted really bad, but everybody's already seen her naked because her last boyfriend talked her into doing something and she was in love with him, so of course she did it, and that's all there is to it. But yet it's hell for you because everyone else has already seen everything, and it's hell for her. It sucks. I feel bad for you guys, you know. I didn't have to deal with that. Yeah, we had to deal with, like, of course there were rumors and stories and bullshit like that, but there wasn't, like, photographic evidence of everything, you know. So this thing here is not going to get the traction I'm hoping for, because the ones that I'm hoping will see it, they were smart and used this, like, newer voiceover. It's kind of got like a Deftones vibe to it, and I think it's a voiceover, but the text and stuff is pretty much describing, like, the difference between 2001 and now 2024. And yeah, there's a big difference. But even for me, growing up in the 90s, it's like, dude, we didn't even have cell phones. So, like, it was totally different. From meeting girls to hanging out with your friends. Like, I look back at that stuff with, like, great fondness. I can't say that I regret not having the technology back then. It's nice to have it now, and a lot of people grow up with it, so they'll never know what it's like not to have it. You know, but me and my buddies in high school, we'd meet up, we'd take somebody's car, we'd drive around, we'd pump tunes, and you know, whether it be NoFX, Diesel Boy, Sublime, whatever we were listening to at the time. You know, of course, we listened to Limp Bizkit and a lot of underground punk, Downset, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, Lagwagon. I think I mentioned Diesel Boy already from the West Coast. We saw them live. Those guys were great. You know, they're nowhere near as big as, like, the Deftones and some of the bands of the 2000s. But what I was trying to do was just relate. Like, we're not that far apart in years, and I can see you guys are starting to feel that depression of, fuck, you know, like, I gotta work, you know. I thought, like, it was, like, this special thing in life, like, you know, my life was special, like, I'm gonna do something different, I'm not gonna be like everybody else, I'll never not know what's cool. And it's very hard to be that person because you get caught up in it, you know. I myself fucked up for a long time. Finally get my shit together. I meet a beautiful girl. I get... It was more like the music wasn't important anymore. The friends weren't important anymore. Even money. The only thing that was important was getting my life together. And that's what a lot of... There's such an opiate epidemic now. Like, back then when we got into drugs, we did plenty of street drugs. I'll tell you about my prom real quick. But we used to go to all-night raves, and I'd eat like 5 hits of ecstasy. I'd take a couple tabs of acid. I'd snort K. I never think twice about it. I would never do that now. And I think that's even before the fentanyl topic. But, like, now these kids have to be afraid that there's fentanyl mixed in with shit. And their parents are even giving them drug test kits and Narcan to take with them. I'm sorry, parents. I know you don't want to enable your kids, but, like, shit. I'm glad I don't have kids, because I don't want to stop people from having a good time, but that sucks. But yeah, we used to go to all-night parties with DJs, and it would last from like 9 at night till 7 in the morning. You'd roll all night on ecstasy. They call it candy flipping. Ecstasy and acid mixed together. It's the best. I say that now, but back then it was the best. I don't know if we could do that now. I mean, I don't even know if you could find like ecstasy tablets. I mean, Molly was becoming a thing, and I have no idea now. I mean, all I hear about is fentanyl, 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 and cocaine. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, coke is like the complete opposite of fentanyl. Yeah, I mean, having a drug problem sucks, and there's a life beyond it. Climb out of that hole. It might not be the most glamorous life, yeah. It's time to get to work and all that shit. And you see these, like I was getting to, these kids with the videos, like they stand in there kind of like with their head down, like I thought life was going to be so much different. Yeah, man, I know. I went through that too. You get covered with tattoos, you get your face covered with tattoos if you're going to be like in the limelight, if you're going to be famous. I realized this at one age. Us regular people, we're just going to look like weirdos because we're going to be working and trying to live that American dream thing. I mean, unless you want to keep on pushing to be a rock star or be in the limelight, then yeah, but thank God I didn't get face tattoos, and if any of you do, no offense, I don't have anything against face tattoos, but I'm sure, because I know dudes with sleeves that wish they didn't get them. It's all about invisible taboos. Fuck what other people think, alright? It's on you. It's just be a good person. That's all that really matters. It could say fuck you on my face, but if I'm a nice guy, people will probably let that go after a little while. It might be a little weird to look at first, but trust me, we all grow up at some point. So anyway, 1999, it's the prom. I don't know who's sticking around for this bullshit, but my prom date was a friend of mine, this chick, Chelsea. I don't want to talk too much, just in case she ever happens to see this. Back then, I was really into drugs. I was a senior, I was like 18, I had a ton of ecstasy on me, acid, Special K, and a lot of the rest of the group, they were glad that I had plenty of ecstasy, but they were more into drinking, and like I wasn't super into drinking yet, so I was sober, and you know, we get to the prom, and it's at like the Copley in Boston, and we're there for like 10 minutes, and they throw us out, and it's like our typical group, and so like I'm totally sober, so I actually speak up, and I hated my dean. That guy had it out for me, and whatever, this is 20 plus years ago, so it's okay. But he's like, we're gonna call everyone's parents, and I'm like, come on, man, it's the fucking prom. Then he's like, we're gonna tell the limo driver not to take you guys to the beach. Okay. So anyways, I talked to the limo driver, and I'm like, hey, you gotta take us to the beach. We paid for it, alright? The guy was actually really cool. He kind of helped us out. He bullshitted the dean a little bit. Yeah, we had to leave early, went up to the beach. My prom date passes the fuck out. Whatever. Kind of had been there, done that type of thing. Anyways, she's my great friend of mine. I had more fun that night with my buddies, hanging out up at Hampton Beach, rolling on ecstasy, and walking up and down the beach. We were tripping, we were rolling, candy flipping, probably doing K. We had hotel rooms up there, and it was just, I look back at that, that was like real deal, like that was fun. I mean, yes, drugs were involved, but we weren't hurting anybody, and it wasn't like hardcore. We weren't sticking ourselves, we weren't doing anything like that yet, and I'm not trying to say, hey, I've done it all, okay? I've been to the bottom of the barrel and climbed my way back out, so I am not, I'm not, I'm not one to speak. Like, let's just put it that way. But prom night was a fun night, you know. When you have that mixture of acid and ecstasy, it's like you're tripping in, you feel good. And so we're walking on the beach, and me and my friend Jerry were just like so out of it. And like, I felt like I was walking up and down these dunes, like from like a movie or something. Like these deep desert dunes. You know, they were probably like, you know what the dunes, if you're from Mass, like Hampton Beach, they're just like these little dunes. And my buddy Jerry's like, "Are you going through the same thing I'm going through, man?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm walking through like these fucking crazy dunes. They're like wicked tall, and I'm gonna tumble down one of them, and I'm never gonna stop tumbling." He's like, "Oh yeah, man, that's what I'm seeing too." And it's like, it would just, I don't know if it was the shadows or what, but you look down, and the thing just looks like it went down for like hundreds of feet. But anyways, yeah, we had a good time, me and the boys and the girls. It was weird. It wasn't one of those proms where it was like, get drunk, spend the night with your prom date. It was like, we were rolling, we were all having a good time. The girls were all like rollerblading on the strip, and they were just like having a blast. And they were hanging out with us too. We were smoking plenty of doobies. And that was the thing for many years. Go up to the beach with some friends, and you know, and then time goes on, and get your shit together a little bit more, and you meet the right woman, and you get married like I did. And here I am, making dumb YouTube videos. You know what, if I say anything else, it's gonna get even like 1,000 times cringier or more boring. So I think I'm gonna cut it there, but there's a quick little story about high school in the 90s. I think Kurt died when I was in 8th grade, and that was hard. You know, I'd started playing guitar around that time, and that's when I became glued to MTV. If my parents wanted to punish my ass, it was like they would cancel MTV. It wasn't like I could just go on my phone and stream it or something. It was gone. Same thing with a guitar amp. I just got a new PV, like two 12s. It was two 12-inch speakers in a cabinet. And my dad's like, "Oh, you got in trouble for stealing at Leechmere? I'm taking your amp back." I don't know. Parents were a little bit stricter, and maybe some still are. But I'm in the service industry. I'm in tons of homes. Things have definitely changed a bit. I don't want to be one of those types of people that's like, times were better when I was a kid. It's just the things I'm noticing, and I'm even seeing the kids below my generation say this. So I had to slap this together. I could do a better job. I could make a short like they did, and it's pretty cool. Puts a lump in your throat. I know that feeling. The end of the video stores, the end of the arcades, the end of the going to the mall with your buddies, all that stuff. We can stop that from happening. But it's so much easier just to shop online, talk online. You know what I mean. Hey, it's Friday night. I hope you all have a good night, and I hope I can do this again sometime. If I get a few views on this, maybe I will. Maybe we can do it live someday. If I ever get like an audience, we do one of those live things that I see people doing. I promise I would get like a real background with like lighting, so that I don't have like half a shadow and half not a shadow. I know a little bit about that stuff. I've watched a little bit about video production. I know this is horrible crap, but that's what I kind of want it to be right now. I mean, who am I? Anyways, take care. Have a good Friday night. Have a great weekend. Alright? Live it up. Keep your head up. stay the fuck out of trouble. If you're addicted and you're down and you're out and you're at the bottom of that barrel and somehow you come across this video, dude, or young lady, whoever you are, it's not over. Like, go to the ER. Just say, look, I need help. I have done that multiple times. They might make you wait an entire day, but they will put you somewhere. They will get you a bed. It does not have to fucking be it. And you know, with the way drugs are, with the fentanyl and everything, it could be it tomorrow, tonight, whatever. Just get off of the shit. Life is better without it. I swear to God. Please believe me.